Greetings. Welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries / Red Pill Journals. Um, we'd like to thank you for joining us again on our show. This is the Daily Grind. We're trying to come back to you hard after being suspended for no just cause of this platform. I have my co-host Rashid. So we are Rashid and Rashid. I want to say a few things. I'm going to let him say hi to everybody. Then I want to give you an understanding of what transpired and why the live show stopped. So Rashid, if you have anything to say to the people, go ahead. Your mic is there you are. Go ahead.
Greetings to the viewing.
Okay. So he gave you the greetings. So listen, I want to say this to you all, and this happens every time. This is a pattern of YouTube and the algorithm. As soon as the subscriber rate starts going up, because within a week we had about 400 subscribers or not. I mean new subscribers. Out of the blue, the view rate has shot up, and you suspended us. This happens every single time, and in our suspension, for every 10 subscribers, we lost out. That's crazy, right? But we went and we did a when we found
Yes,
out what was going on, and we were trying to find a way to try to get around everything that's going on. What we did, we went to our backup channel, which was the Red Pill Journals, and we did it live with Scott Ritter. So you can go check that out over there. It will be posted over here also. Okay, we'll post that over sometime this week. But YouTube is purposely killing the subscriber rate and purposely killing our show by every time we hit a stride, we get suspended. And the suspension, and what is crazy about this, and we're going to go into news, but I have to inform you because we've been off the air since we did our last live stream on this the Red Pill Journals. Okay, they suspended us for a show done with Jim Fetzer. They don't want us to ask questions. The questions that we asked were just common sense questions, and they suspended us for it. Not for what we said, but for what Jim said. They want no altering views. And here is the kicker, and then we'll go into the news. They took the video down. They suspended us, right? But they didn't take it down somewhere else. I won't say where else, but they didn't take it down somewhere else. Okay, we were suspended for nothing. So this is what we want to say. Whenever we're doing shows and the shows stop, it's because we have been suspended. Okay. So now let me unmute Rashid and let's go into the day and of the week. And you know we're getting ready to talk about this so-called missile strike in Poland. Now, immediately as you sent me a thread about Russia, a missile that it was suspicious anyhow, because when Russia strikes close to the to NATO's borders, Russia uses high precision weapons that don't stray, and they are guided by satellites. So I already knew that there was something. If a Russian missile hit, there was a purpose. They hit it. That was not the case. So immediately when you sent me the thread, I sent you something in the Russian news saying that Russia that they had not even conducted strikes in that region of Ukraine. So the first thing that came to your mind was a false flag put together by Poland and Ukraine. But also, I want to put something on your mind and let it marinate on you and your thoughts on all about it. Not only do I think it was a Ukrainian Polish contrived move, I also think the United States and other NATO has something with it, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's because every time the United States requests to negotiate and they don't get their way, vis-a-vis, look at what happened in Iran. As Iran was negotiating with the United States, what happened? They bombed a oil convoy that was going into Syria to go into Lebanon, right? And now these attacks just come out of nowhere. So I think this was pressure because of the meeting between the U.S. Intelligence teams and the Russian intelligence teams, and Russia conveyed to them what was on their mind, what was going to go down, and America was not getting her way. And also, it was to test the waters. Response would be: would they cower? Would they pander to the media and to the pressure, or would they say, issue a statement and say we had nothing to do with it and leave it alone? And on top of that, it was also used to get what just happened in Turkey out of the news, covert false flag terror attacks in Turkey. What say you about these?
Well, we know who's the king of
false
flags, don't we? Yeah, can you hear me?
Right. Right.
Yeah, I hear you. You know who the king of false flags is, don't you? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. False flags all over the place. He's very good at stirring up trouble. He is the troublemaker of the world. That's his slogan should be hung around his neck. Anywhere there's trouble, you'll find me there. Of course, that was a false flag. Right. His empire is crumbling, and he is very angry.
And so,
very. Go ahead on.
I want to read something to you, and this is why I have the Turkish angle in it also. But Turkey says that the United States, even though they're allies, the United States is helping arm Greece against Turkey. But at the same time, the United States have been taking Greece's side over Turkey, and they've also been used when they went into Syria. And I said that the United States is just going to use those Kurds against the Turkish nation and destabilize them once the Turks get done doing the United States bid of trying to destabilize Syria. And that is what's going on. I want you to listen to this. I'm going to read a quote by the Turkish foreign ministry, I believe it is. Interior ministry, I'm sorry. The Turkish interior ministry. And everybody, I want you to understand this, that these are supposedly NATO allies, right? So they needed some kind of moment to try to bridge the gap between the US and Turkey, and also put pressure on Russia, and also to benefit Poland and Ukraine. So this is a typical Western false flag operation that was meant to strike fear in Russia. Oh, we're going to consult on Article 5 and all of this stuff. That's all that you heard for a few days. Article 5 is that part in the NATO treaty where all member states are obliged to take an attack on one as an attack on all. So listen what the Turkish Interior Ministry said after the United States offered their condolences and their apologies for the largest terror attack in Turkey in recent memory. According to the breaking news, Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu said in a statement after the explosion on Istanbul Taksim Istiklal Street, "We do not accept the condolences of the U.S. Embassy. If we had not caught the attacker, he would have fled to Greece today." Listen to me. Isn't it ironic that America is setting up more bases in Greek in the Greek area? You know, the area that is like tense between Greece and Turkey. But check this. So now Turkey finds itself surrounded with U.S. military bases. Remember, it was Iran, it was Syria, and now Turkey finds itself surrounded by U.S. military bases. They have them in Jordan. They have them in Iraq, also in Syria. They have them in occupied Palestine. And now they have Germany. They have them in Greece. And then around it, you help the empire out, and now you find with bases. But let's go further. He says, Minister Sorlu said, operations continue. All of our security forces and all intelligence units are on alert together. We said what we were going to say last night. We know how the incident was coordinated. Listen, stop right there for a minute. If they said they do not accept the apology or the condolences of the U.S. Embassy, and then they followed that up and said, if we had not caught the attacker, he would have fled to Greece today, then you have to ask yourself, well, if they would have fled to Greece, why wouldn't they accept the U.S. condolences when the U.S. is not Greece? Because the United States is using Greek soil to conduct operations of destabilization in Turkey. As thou hast done, so shall it be done unto thee. But it's pushing Turkey out of the Western sphere and more over into the Eastern sphere. But let's go further. He says, we know how it was coordinated. We will bury our bodies. We have just sent our exorant to Adana and sent his father. It must be said, we know the messages that was given to us. We received the messages that was given to us, and we know what the messages what was given to us. We will send a very strong message to this message. Comment.
Well, when Turkey first joined on to the empire to start a war on Syria, like you said, blowback is something else. It would be poetic justice if they started all these terrorist attacks in Turkey. Like you said, as you put it out, so shall you get what you reap. He helped destroy Turkey because he thought he was going to get some benefit for it. And the empire, like what they said, the empire never, they don't have any friends.
Yeah.
He don't have no friends. He got subjects. That's it. Either you do as I say, or I'll come in there and stir up some trouble. You know, talking to the empire and the Western world. Everybody should learn that by now. Gorbachev, Gorbachev was a fool, but I'm saying Putin should know it. The Iranians should know it. You have a peace treaty with the empire. 4 o'clock the next morning, he comes to your house through your bedroom window with a meat cleaver. Talking about this, that's his peace. His peace is to do war constantly doing war, stirring up trouble. If you do not do that, then he can't rule. He cannot allow. This is the reason why he's talking about a nuclear bomb with Iran. I cannot allow the Iranians to get on the same level as me. Then I can't stir up no trouble. If Iran have a nuclear weapon, then my troublemaking is no use. So you can't have one nuclear weapon. Well, excuse me, Mr. Empire. How many empire? Only got 6,000 nuclear weapons, but I'm planning on getting 4,000 or 5,000 more. Mindset of these people is for anybody that can't see that needs their head examined.
Right. Now, I'm gonna read further, and this is what former CIA analyst Larry Johnson got from that statement from the ministry. This is what he explained out. Okay, he says, "Let me translate. Claims the United States for the attack because of its role in funding and arming the Kurds in Syria. The government of Turkey has been at war with the Kurdish Workers' Party since the 1970s. Full disclosure, my boss at State Department, Ambassador Morris Busby, and I, in 1996, after we left the service of the U.S. government by the government of Turkey to produce a study of Greek support for the PKK. Here is a shocker. We concluded that the Greek government provided financial support to the PKK, making the Greeks a de facto state sponsor of terrorism, at least in the eyes of Turkey. The statement by Turkey's interior minister is not just a passing emotional response. He is sending Biden and his team a clear message. We blame you for this. And that is why, out of the blue, you see this so-called missile strike on Polish territory, right? Because remember, Poland and Ukraine had been itching to start a nuclear war between Russia and NATO because they believe that America has a superior military. And they believe, contrary to the numbers, that America has a larger nuclear stockpile. So they put pressure on Russia and make Russia fold and bend. But what they don't understand is that this is life or death for Russia. She can't back up because if she backs up, that's the end of the Russian Federation. So
she called it a catch-22.
Right. Turkey. This is what I'm saying. Empires rule. A lot of these people are caught in a catch-22. Think about this. Even though Russia did not have the military wherewithal back in 2014, she still had some military might, and she could have put a nuclear weapons on display, because this is an existential threat for the Russian Federation. Had Vladimir Putin not stopped the rebellion in the Donbass, he would not have been facing what he's facing today. Because remember, they were on the march. They were about to take Kiev.
Right.
And Putin called a halt to that. Because the United States, and people don't understand this. And this is what I try to say when I do articles on our like quick hit audios and videos. Listen, the only time the United States wants to negotiate is if you have the upper hand. You have or they suffering from stagnation, or they have fallen behind in a certain area. They use the talks and the implementation of the negotiation agreement to buy them to catch up with you in an area that they lag behind, so that now when they catch up with you, they throw the treaty out the window and say, that's no longer sufficient. We want the treaty, it has to be on our terms. But that's, think of the JCPOA with Iran. They just threw it out the window. Just threw it out, and then started blaming Iran in the treaty that they got out of.
Once again,
sorry. No. Here we are with this. We started with our YouTube, and StreamYard is now messing with the stream now. Our first live back, they're messing with the stream. For those of you who are listening, if we get cut off, if they knock us off, be patient and stay here. They're messing with our audio and they're messing with our streaming, okay? Because we told you they kicked us off the air for 2 weeks. All right, but we're back now. But they're not going to get us off point. So let me go to something here. Remember the last day or so, all you've seen in papers were NATO must consult together after the missile strike in Poland. This could be an Article 5 declaration by NATO forces against Russia. If Russia did this was to test the water to see if Russia would shake, bow, bend, or break. This is what that was. And after Russia sent them a strong message saying that, listen, that not only did we not strike over there, but if you use this as a pretext to enter the war, Russian President Vladimir Putin's statement at the beginning of the war remains valid. You know what that means? You remember what he said? That any outside people that comes into it openly, Russia would destroy them. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what that meant. So this is what I want to go to a article here. Out of all of that bluster, here's an article comes out after Russia sends that message that Vladimir Putin's statements that he made at the beginning of the conflict, this moment, right? All of a sudden, NATO says no indication that Russia plans to attack NATO. Nobody said that Russia was going to attack NATO. See, they build up straw man theories and then knock them down, seem as though they are strong. But listen, it says the head of the U.S.-led alliance said a Ukrainian anti-aircraft missile likely struck or hit Polish territory. We knew that today. Now they are certain that it was a Ukrainian missile, but when they were saber rattling, this could mean the start of a confrontation between Russia and NATO. But when Russia reiterated the Russian President Vladimir Putin's statement that Russia would not hesitate to defend its interests if any outside the fray, all of a sudden the statements changed a little bit, right? It's crazy, right? And it happened. It didn't happen by chance. It happened after this took place. Russian. Go ahead. You lag behind. What did you say?
Yeah, we're getting a lag in here. You say something that takes a few minutes to come through. What I was saying is, it shows you that you're dealing with sociopaths. Anytime he props out his nuclear weapons like that's some ace in the hole, his ace card. I'm gonna drop that down. If you use nuclear weapons, no. And he keeps pushing the envelope. With Russia, he keeps pushing it. It shows you that, like I said, that the people of the leadership of the West are not thinking right. Once some of these guys believe that they can use nukes and Russia won't shoot back. They got such they think everybody is buffalo to the point that I'll go in there and use a couple of nukes and wipe you out, and the rest of the people are gonna stand back and say, "Oh God, America, we're away." No. The last this is strict interest. She have to do it. Russia don't do anything. Like you were saying before, all Putin had to do is not interfere with the rebels when they were in 224. But he's still thinking that he could work with the West, and he slowly found out what he called non-agreeable. There's no agreeing with somebody that will not agree with nothing. The catch-22. The empire is caught in the catch-22 because she sees her power waning, and if she don't do anything, she's gonna be second to the East. And the empire is not in the business of being second to nobody. If I can't rule, I'll destroy everybody. I'll whip out my nukes on you.
Right. And so again, I want to go to a point. Let's go back to this article here. It says NATO Secretary Joe Stoltenberg told reporters on Wednesday that the bloc sees no indication that Russia is preparing military action against it. Stop right there. They threw that up. See, they throw these straw man arguments up. Russia never said it was going to attack NATO. Russia said that it feared that NATO had intentions on attacking Russia. But to try to punk somebody, when the punking does not go the way they want to, then they become the victim. And it is so much macho, gung-ho stuff after this so-called missile attack. If it happened, then we would do this and this and this. And now, all of a sudden, they realized that Russia too, and they came to the realization that in missile technology and in warplanes and in anti-air defense systems, they are way behind Russia. So Russia has the power of escalation dominance in Europe, in the Eurasian theater against them. And they're awakening, but it's yet an awakening that they don't want to accept. Do you what do you think is going on in the mind of sociopath in Brussels, London, and in Washington, D.C. at this very moment, finding out that they can't impose their will on the Russian Federation, that they cannot impose their will on the Chinese. And before you answer that, remember that question right there. There was something that I did not even know. I was watching something. I was looking at an interview last night, and I did not know that the U.S. military doctrine from when the United States got nuclear weapons up until not fairly recent. If they had it set, the dead man's hand thing, they had it where that not only it got in that they would launch nuclear weapons at Russia and China. I did not even know that. So in the backdrop of that, what do you think that the minds, the thinking is, and as they see their power waning, as they see new alliances form outside of their control, as they see the former colonies push for independence, true independence, resource independence, currency independence, trade independence, political independence, and military independence. What do you think is going through their mind? Could you say that again? You're breaking up. YouTube, man, you guys got to stop. You got to stop this. Go ahead.
They gave those other little bitty countries, so-called, they gave those other little countries independence, but they were really not independent. Even though you don't see the Empire's soldiers up and down the street, they control the puppets that rule them, and they always go against the people, right? Every last, all of them. So the Arabs don't have no leaders. They really ain't got no countries because you got people in power that go against the Arab street. Every last one. It was on the cradle.
Say that again. From every last one.
Was talking about
YouTube. Hold on, Rashid. Go and start where you just said every last one. Continue from there because YouTube is messing with your and messing with your stream part.
Oh, okay. I was reading something on the cradle where he was talking about England sets up all of the little politicians and stuff in Lebanon and Iraq, and they control all of these people. They come in and they get them when they're young and they train them and they give them a bunch of their and spread some of her worthless dollar bill. If everybody taking her money, if you stop taking her money, if everybody got together and stopped taking, that's coming. But right now, all she have to do is spread a few dollars around, and then she can get traders, people with weak mind inside any country. They'll come in and buy their allegiance to them. As long as he comes in and he can take your subjects and turn them against you, that's what's happening in Iran. That's what's happening in Russia. China. All the intelligence agents have to come in and spread a few dollars around, and they can get people to go against their own country.
Mm-hmm. But again, what do you think the mindset?
They're losing all control. It's like a man that's on, as I think I said this before, it's like a man, right? The people down on the ground, they can see a lot. They see all these great big buildings and look all around. But if you take a trip up to the top floor and look on those binoculars, you can see everything. And that's what's going on. Leadership of the West see how we're going to lose. They ain't guessing about it. They can look at the whole board and say, losing over there, and we're having trouble over here. And you know how that, like I said, when the king fears somebody gonna come in and usurp his power or take his throne, he starts firing off at everybody. The man walk in the door to give him a message, he ready to execute him. His little servant. So this is what's going on. They see, and you hear them talking about, well, we're gonna get gas from it. There's no other place to get gas from other than Russia. This is how Germany and them became a behemoth. Cheap Russian gas. All of you only use 10% of Russia. Lies. He never gonna tell you what he use, but I tell you what, even the Empire's minions, they're starting to turn on each other now because they know the jig is up. If Russia don't send us no gas, then our societies crumble. And so now they fighting what little bitty resources there. Proof of the fact is Russia or Germany, they chopping down the forces for the weather. That shows you what they really know this really was coming. They are in trouble, deep trouble. And like I said, Putin is bent over backwards to go into what he has to do with Russia. I mean, with the empire. Putin. You remember that old game called whatever when we were young, where he had dinner and everybody make all kinds of I forget the name. Into this because
I can barely make you out. I can barely make out the last part.
He wants to be able to work free.
Hold your thoughts. They're messing with your mic again.
What about now?
They're messing with your mic again. Now you're clear, yeah. Go ahead.
He put they would go over backwards, bend over backwards not to antagonize the West. Putin wanted to be an equal to the people of the West, and the West didn't see that. The West only seen that they defeated the Soviet Union, and you are our subject. Get in your place. But wait a minute, I don't say nothing to me. You do what I tell you to do. That's how he is all around the world. You do as I tell you to do, and you are not on my level. I'm on top, and you nobody. This is what Putin realizing now. With the Chinese, they feel that way with the Chinese. The Chinese is not in, and they consider you as nothing. He didn't go around the world raping, robbing, and stealing everybody's land to come up with some democracy to sit around and let you be his equal. His fathers didn't do that. And in his mindset, you are a servant of mine. And that's all you can ever be. All you can ever get out of his world is servant's portion. That's it. And ain't no equal rights with us. All that is a facade that he put out. Like you said before, he goes around somebody else, steals somebody else naturally, invades somebody else's country, and then run around calling them terrorists.
Yeah.
I come in and conquer your country,
Isn't
burn
that a
up
con?
all of your systems, and pillage everything, and then call you a terrorist.
Check it. Check it. He's in Syria, arming and training ISIS, stealing wheat, the wheat of the grain harvest, stealing tons and tons of oil every few days, trucking them out of into Iraq to put on ships to ship them back this way, or to give them to Israel. And he calls the people that are fighting. I'm talking about the actual people who are on the ground who are saying, "Man, you're looting our resources." He's calling them terrorists, and you make that make sense. Syria lies thousands of miles away from America's shores, you know, and how you bombing them, you are occupying 50 square miles of their land, and not only that, you have occupied their resource-rich region, which is rich in gas and oil, and then you're saying you protected it from terrorists. Yet you arming the terrorists and you training the terrorists, and you have them at your bases, and you're flying them in and out of Syria into wherever it needs to be destabilized, into Libya, into Iraq, into Iran, into Afghanistan, into Ukraine, in and out. Their jig is up. This is what I'm talking about. As long as America's order, rules-based order, is allowed to flourish or allowed to exist, there can be no justice, equality. There cannot even be any true freedom, because America dictates to herself that she's the only one that is allowed to be totally free. She's the only one that is allowed to enjoy joy, liberty, or the fruits of everyone else's labor. All of that, because now nations are building alliances outside of her, and they're trading outside of the dollar. They're doing currency swap deals, right? They're forging political alliances, they're cultural alliances, trade alliances. All of this stuff is to rid themselves of the so-called rules-based order, and the rules-based order are rules based on the order of America and her
of whatever he wants.
Partners.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
so,
first of all,
the rules are valid so long as they apply to you. But when they apply to me, we don't. As a matter of fact, if you go to Press TV, speaking of that, to prove what I'm saying, out of all of this jaw jacking that America has been talking about, the JCPOA must be respected. After pulling out, Biden's team says they're in no hurry to revive the JCPOA. So the rules they apply to Iran, who is still a participant of the agreement, but they don't apply to the person who actually brought up the agreement, which is America, who signed the agreement and who literally was the 50% partner with Iran in the agreement. You make that make sense, and then you tell me where's the justice in that, where's the freedom in that, where's the equality in that? As long as the rules-based order, which is inherently racist, arrogant, built on American extremism and Western dominance, as long as that is allowed to flourish or to maintain itself, we're looking at war upon war upon war. We're looking at poverty. We're looking at look at capitalism is a disease, and I'm not a socialist, but capitalism is a disease. It is predatory. It's only ignorant, and the people at the top want to keep a certain class ignorant so that they can have a land to attach to and feed off of. So, by inherent that is brought to you by the West is corrupt and it's predatory. Why? Because parasites need a host to enjoy life. Without a host, they can neither compete, nor can they progress, nor can they survive as the leader when the playing field is equal. Look at them raising hell about China. Now that some of the playing field, all of the obstacles that the West had up are being demolished by China. They don't want to see a non-Western, non-white nation in a position of power, in a position of strength. What say you on the map?
First of all, let's go back to Syria. Well, the empire failed. Well, if you're not going to stop me, I'm going to continue on. If you let me get 50% of the country, then the next thing I know, I'm going to take 25% of the country. 50% of the country. This guy is not the guy that you can sit around and play word games or something with him. He gets a piece of something, he wants the big piece of it. That's what he's talking about, peace. I want peace. I want a piece of that country, and I want a piece of that country. I want a piece of that country. That's what peace means to him. He rules. That's all he's concerned about. For treaties, just go to the American Indian, and it'll show you what the American people, the American white man think of treaties. All of them, hundreds and hundreds of treaties, broke every last one of them. His fathers did it, he doing it, and his children will do it. Any peace treaty.
Let me cut you off right there. Let me cut you off. There's the breaking news in Iran. Hold on. Let me breaking news in Iran. Now, mind you, we just talked. This is breaking news as we speak. There has been a terrorist attack in the southwest region of Iran, killing at least 5 people. Multiple people are injured. All of this stuff. Isn't it ironic that it is happening as we talk to you about the false flag terror attacks that the empire continues to initiate around the world? The empire continues to do this because if I keep you destabilized, then that keeps me in power. If I keep you engulfed in terror, then that gives me some breathing room to live freely. If I keep you at war, then guess what that does? That gives me a free hand to do what I want to do. And after I get this, then what happens is, guess what? I offer you a peace on my terms. And this is what's going on. So there's breaking news that just came in that there's a terrorist attack in the southwest of Iran, and it killed at least 5 with others that are injured. So I just wanted to bring you that while we're live on the air. I was scanning the news and it just came up. But I want to get to it. I want to show these people something. To let people know that we don't want to let you. Excellent. We even have the internet boost to make sure there's a connection. And we have the backup. We have a mobile backup just in case. And for Rashid, we also had the people come check the internet. So we know it's not on our end. We know that. So it has to be on StreamYard or it has to be on YouTube that is continually interfering with the show. Okay. So please stick with us. Don't blame us. Charge it to our head, not to our heart. We mean our best for you. But I just want to go to this point right here. Give me a second, Rashid. I have to bring something up on the screen. Give me 1 second. All right, here we are right here. So, we lost Rashid. We lost Rashid from the screen. Hopefully, we can get him back. He's been disconnected. That horse doesn't stop the show. Okay, we're going to keep going. Look at this. And I want you to look at this. And I'm going to bring Rashid. I see him back up. I'm going to bring him in a second. But I just want everyone to look at this Angry villagers and troops blocked U.S. military convoy from advancing in Syria's Hasaka. The U.S. Villages and loot their oil resources and all of this stuff. Nobody says a word. Nobody is in media. They want you that thing that America does is benevolent. But listen, let me tell you something. And the reason I keep harping on this is because there's a blowback effect of this. And I want to inform that just like you also are responsible for what issues carry on and do around the globe. So their policy is a menacing policy, is a colonial policy, is a expansionism policy, is a policy, or is a thieving policy. That stuff eventually blows back to you. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people don't want to talk on these issues because it's an inconvenient truth. But you need to know why your burgers at the fast food joints are going high. Your food in the stores is like, why there are policies right here. You cannot go and steal people's land, steal people's food, steal people's resources, bomb these people and relegate it to a mistake. Where you go, you do this, and when you kill somebody, you relegate it to a mistake or an error. America would not purposely bomb these. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? So the meat at the markets, the food at the stores, and all of the stuff you see on your shelves, if you see stuff on your shelves, the price that is shooting up on every area of the policies that America is carrying out domestically and internationally. And if you don't understand that, you can be hurt and damaged even more. Look, knowledge may hurt, but ignorance will kill. And you cannot just say, well, I didn't know that. That's not going to stop the blowback effect of that. And then when you got 3 weeks to live, just because you didn't know didn't mean you was going to stop the effects of it. The same ignorance will not stop the blowback effect of America's cancerous policies. And she has infected the world with these things. So I'm gonna bring Rashid back in if I can. They're really messing with the stream. We're not gonna stay on the stream much longer. I had a lot to talk about since we were kept off the stream. But since they continue to play with everything, we're not gonna stay on the stream too much longer. Because I don't like this. I don't like the interference. I don't like them messing with the voice. I don't like them messing with the mics. I don't like none of that. So, Rashid, you back on the air. What's on your mind? You there? Go ahead. See? The stream. They are messing with the stream. Live on the air. But we're going to go further into this. So again, you've seen what the blowback effect in Syria. What do you think the blowback effect is with China? Let us get this in our head for a second. China has the largest army in the world. She surpassed 2 years was the world. She has the most powerful destroyers. Their radar can see 2 to 3 times as far as the United States most advanced destroyer can see, and the missile can fly faster than the U.S. missiles, and On top of that, they have double and triple range. Now, I'm saying that to say this. We just looked at on the screen how America is trying to pillage these nations like Syria. And now she's bucking up against Russia and China, her military and economic peers. How do you think that's going to figure in your daily life? How do you think that that is going to play out on the shelves, the stores, and everywhere else? You're already a victim of these policies right now. Open your wallet, look in your house, go down the street, look at the growing poverty, look at the homelessness. You're already a victim to the policies now. Now, to go at Russia is one thing. It's one thing. But to go at China, that's a whole nother ball game. Why? Because China is your largest lender. She's your largest financer. She's your largest trade partner, right? She's your largest manufacturer. As a matter of fact, she is the manufacturing king or queen of the world. She produces 90+% of all the goods that are on America's shelves. How do you think it's going to go if a war breaks out between America and China? There's an embargo. So then the shipments to the stores stop. The goods that's flowing stop. The debt is called in. Boom goes the dynamite. So by way of the insane, it is leading America down a detrimental and deadly path of destruction. And guess who foots the bill for this? You do. In life, in lives, in money, in resources, directly affect you. When you think about this, when they had the disease, I can't say the name because they'll suspend me again. You know what I'm talking about. They had us in quarantine. And all of the food and all of the toilet paper and all of this stuff was rationed out. Think about when they could not get baby formula not too long ago. Well, that is just if there's a major military, political, or economic war with China. Here we go. Man, they are tripping. YouTube is tripping.
Which supplies the electricity for the operation of one of the crude oil pipeline. As a result of the hit, crude oil deliveries on the pipeline to Hungary, the Czech Republic and Slovakia were temporarily stopped. We are following the Ukraine partners. We are investigating the conditions for restarting the friendship pipeline. Read the statement of Moscow. Russians are bombarding the territory of Ukraine with large forces and transformer stations are the main transport men, equipment, and ammunition for the war. Ukraine has enough fresh crude oil for 90 days, which it can use in its refineries. Alternative transport the Adriatic pipeline. The 90-day reserve is theoretically sufficient to organize the southern deliveries. U.S. initial findings are that the missile that fell fired by the Ukrainian military.
So they're playing with everything, man. So I'm coming in through another channel to try to get you. You want to apologize for everything. You really want to apologize. We are really missing the show today. So we're going to end the show. We want to apologize to end the show. We can't want to apologize on the show. We can't come back on and do the show. If not, we will go tomorrow morning at our normal time. Around 4:00. As always, we like to thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Another hour of your day, and another day of your time. And as always, we say, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, stay righteous. Mama, I'm sorry about what's going on, but guess what? Through it all, I still love you. Peace to everyone. Thank you again. You see what they did, brother? You there? Let me see. They muted you. You there?
Off course and hit Poland. Yes, 2 people have been killed, and that is tragic. However, between NATO and Russia over what clearly.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
See what they did to the show? Yeah, I hear you. You see what they did to the show?
Well, so much for freedom of speech.
Oh man!
Every word out this man's mouth is lie. You know, used to say every third word is a lie. Every word is a lie. And the closer we get to the end, the more anybody with a head on his shoulders can see it. You know, I'm watching this silly Negro.